communication, where there is no exchange of thoughts, where there is no exchange of ideas, where there is no listening. It sounds very unusual and it's very difficult, right? Without communication. Communication is the foundation for everything, whether it is in your house, whether it is in your workplace, or whether it is in your classrooms. Have you ever come across a classroom where the teacher is teaching and the child or the children are not concerned about what she's teaching, and they don't have the idea to express their ideas or thoughts, or they don't know how to put across their questions to the teacher? You might have come across these kinds of classrooms. Again, when you see these kinds of classroom, communication is one key tool which actually helps the teachers and the learners to build a relationship and definitely enhances their learning outcomes also. I am going to give you 10 seconds, and please recall one particular teacher from your childhood or primary school who made a difference in your life, and show me a thumbs up if you have recalled them. Yes, I can see many thumbs up. Yes. Yes. Okay. Now, let me ask you one question. Why did you recall that particular teacher from your childhood? And most of the answers will be is not what they taught to you or how they taught to you. It's always how they created a rapport with you. Hope you agree with me, right? Hope you agree with me, right? It's always the communication. It's always building the relationship which actually enhances the relationship between teacher and student. Two quotes Two quotes has actually inspired me to take up communication as the effective tool in my classroom practices. And the first one being this: great teachers don't focus on compliance, but on communication and relationship. As soon as I saw this quote for the first time, I realized that communication is so important. Sometimes it's not what the teacher is teaching us or how she is teaching us. It is always how she communicates with us and how she's building the relationships with us. And one more quote, which always comes into my mind, and I always feel that communication is very important, is this: a child is not concerned about what you know until you show them how much you care for them. And I think this is what has inspired me to communicate with my students in my classroom always. And definitely with these two quotes, I am I am actually practicing communication with my learners to enhance my learning outcomes with my students. And before we dive into our lessons today, I have a small icebreaker activity for you. It's very simple, fun, and engaging. I'll be giving two options to every participant, and you will be having two options. Along with two options, you will be having two action codes for that. You have to express your preference, and you should not express it through verbally, but you should show me the action. Got it, teachers? So the first, this icebreaker activity is called this or that. And let me call the participant name. Aparna ma'am, this is your question.
This or that, right?
You
Minds.
have to show me the action. Oh, be able to fly. That's great, Aparna ma'am. May I know why did you choose that?
When we are flying, right? So our mind has to be very clear when we are actually saying that we are able to fly. right? And we're
Yes.
able to fly, we can also have a bird's view also, like, so we can see all what is happening around. So that is why I chose that, be able to.
Wonderful, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much for the answer. And next participant, Bhagyashri ma'am, this is for you. Yes, Bhagyashri ma'am loves reading. Why, ma'am? Why did you choose that option?
Actually, I'm very interested to explore new things. So reading is the best option for it, and your vocabulary also will increase, and the knowledge also will increase because of reading.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that, Bhagyashri ma'am. Then Aditi ma'am.
Starface.
Okay, great. Yes, ma'am. Tell me why you love sour.
Well, sweet increases calories.
Okay, okay, that's great. Thank you. Then we have Anamika ma'am.
So, 1.1 feet.
Okay, pet
So,
dog.
yes,
Pet
I
dog.
do have a pet dog, and I really love the warmthness when you come home and whenever you meet them. So that's why I choose hop like pet dog.
Okay, that's great, ma'am. Then we have Penal ma'am. Penal ma'am loves drawing. Why did you choose that option, ma'am?
Ma'am, it drawing allows us to express our creativity, whatever is in our mind, and it gives a soothing feeling to the mind. It gives a break in your routine life. So that's why I chose this.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that. Okay. So, so this was one small icebreaker activity. And how did you feel about it? It was really very easy, fun, and that moment actually triggered fun, right? And also, very important thing as a teacher, what I gained from this icebreaker activity is that I could know your tastes and preferences, right? Based on that, definitely I can tweak my lesson plans and connect with my students. Hope you all agree with this, right? And second thing, I didn't stop with the question, which one would you prefer? After you gave your answers, I asked you, why did you choose that? Right? It's again a two-way communication and it strengthens our relationship with the students and it definitely enhances their critical thinking skills and reasoning skills because when you choose a particular option, you're thinking why you're choosing it, right? Definitely, it fosters critical thinking as well as your reasoning skills. Now, let us see what exactly is communication. Effective communication is the process of exchanging information, ideas, feelings in such a way that it is clearly understood by all the parties involved in it. So, right now, we are in a workshop where we are talking about communication. It's not just I am expressing my information about communication, it doesn't stop there. And as listeners, you should be able to comprehend what I am expressing, and then it becomes an effective communication process. Definitely, when Effective communication is there, understanding will be there, and it builds relationships in a very great way. And when we talk about effective communication in a classroom environment, it is definitely exchange of ideas, thoughts, emotions between teachers and students. The parties involved in this communication process is teachers and students, and it promotes understanding, engagement, and learning. When there is two-way communication between teachers and students, it's definitely going to create a very supportive environment and interactive learning where both the students and the teachers are valued and understood. And for all these things to happen, communication is the key word. Communication is the buzzword. Communication has been the buzzword since ages, and definitely communication is going to be the buzzword for Generation Beta students as well. Communication is very, very, very important in our lives. Now, let us see the key features of effective classroom communication. First one being clarity of message. Whenever you are in a classroom as a teacher, make sure that you're giving instructions in a very clear and concise manner, and there is no scope for complexity, because when we are dealing with young learners, their vocabulary will be very less, and you have to choose the vocabulary words which they can connect to, and definitely when they can connect, they can comprehend well. So be very, very simple. Make sure that your instructions are very simple and concise. Second thing, active listening. When a teacher is teaching and students are listening, it doesn't stop there. Even when students are speaking to you as teachers, you should listen to them. And that is the only way you can connect with your students and understand what your students want. Active listening is a part of active classroom. Next comes our encouragement of dialogue. What is this encouragement of dialogue? You should always enhance their critical thinking skills. How to increase their critical thinking skills? By asking questions. Why did you choose that? Make a story of yours in your own words. Retell a story in your own words. And again, to deeper their understanding about a topic, you can tell them, you can ask questions like this. What might happen in the story? Give a title to that story. All these will help them to deepen their understanding, as well as it helps a relationship between teachers and students. That communication builds between teachers and students. And the next one is adaptability. This is very, very important. When I started my journey in my classroom, there were all students from rural areas. And definitely and the rural area kids, they are not very good with their spoken English skills. If I start my classes in English with them, definitely they won't connect with me. So I adapted with the regional language. I started teaching my learners with regional language, and then gradually I moved towards English, teaching them in English. Definitely at the end, I could see that they were improving in their spoken English skills also. Adaptability is nothing but checking on with the child's comprehension levels, background, and age. And then you have to adapt according to your child's needs and preferences and communicate to them based on what is required to them. Then nonverbal communication is using appropriate gestures or tone or facial expressions when you are expressing something to your learners. Definitely, it's going to connect easily with the learners. If a child reads a sentence without your support, show that in your facial expression. Definitely, that boosts up their confidence. Tell them, wow, great job, and show it on your face. Definitely, it's going to boost their confidence. feedback and support is something which is very important. This is where the child learns exactly. And I always use this sandwich feedback method, and it has worked wonders for me. And what is that? Area of improvement is sandwiched between two praises. And definitely it's going to work for your learners also. And always use constructive feedbacks. Be very positive when you're giving feedbacks. And support. Support. How can you support your students? By giving them simple, manageable scaffolding activities, giving them clear instructions about the scaffolding activities or differentiation activities, as well as giving them wait time when they are answering any question. Next comes our empathy and respect. Creating a positive environment is very important, and understanding your child's struggles, why they are frustrated, and always being positive, using that positive language to them is something which builds empathy inside the classroom. And whenever there is a very healthy classroom environment, respect between the two parties, teachers and the students, will boost up. And definitely, when there is a good relationship between teachers and students, it helps in learning outcomes also. The last one being consistency and transparency. When you are new to a classroom, make sure that you are very clear with classroom rules and regulations, how to do their assignments, how to behave in the classroom, as well as give them rules and regulations about the assessments, rubrics for assessments, on what basis they are assessed. When these rules, regulations are given to that particular student, definitely the student will comprehend and comes up with maximum learning outcomes. Now, the last one, benefits of effective communication in the classroom. First one, enhances learning. Definitely, when there's a good rapport between teacher and the students, even the complex concepts becomes easy for the learners and they will grasp it. It builds positive relationship between the teachers and the students. It increases participation. Whenever the student is given a chance to speak, if a student is given a chance to ask questions, contribute ideas, definitely the participation increases, and it is the base for active classroom. Encourages collaboration. Whenever there is a good communication in the classroom, definitely when the student works together in a group, they will emerge successfully in their teamwork also. Then reduces misunderstandings. Clear and transparent communication always minimizes communication. When you give clear instructions to your learners about classroom rules, assignments, etc., definitely the child will comprehend, and definitely there's no confusion between teachers and students. And definitely, communication is the key element in our lives. And as teachers, it's the very important tool to see success in our lives. Now we have learned what is communication, key features of communication, and benefits of communication. And now you might be waiting what all communication tools you can use in your classroom to make it more active, and Peenal Patel ma'am is going to share very nice and interesting tools for us where we can enhance our communication with the students and make our classrooms effective. Over to Peenal ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, Peenal, you can start. Okay, I think she's having some problems. Anyway, so a very
No,
good
ma'am.
morning.
I'm not having any problem. Actually, I
Okay.
wanted to show how important it is to communicate. Without communication, nothing is possible, right? So
Completely. Oh my God.
I
But
wanted to,
you know, before you begin, I have a request to all the
yeah,
participants. Okay,
yeah.
please, if you can all put
Okay.
on your videos because we really love to see you all, right? And because you have taken out your wonderful time and a day, and that you on a Sunday to come and encourage my trainees over here. Okay, so if you can all put on your videos, you can blur your backgrounds if you are traveling or if you think so. Okay, but please, please, please put on your videos. Thank you so much. Yes, over to you, Peenal.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. I did it on purpose because I wanted to show that how important communication in the life is, right? No matter who is in front of you, you need to communicate very nicely and properly. Otherwise, it's going to create misunderstanding with people, right? So that was the motive to do this, actually. So I'm sorry if everybody has experienced that, but I really wanted to show that it's very, very crucial to communicate because it's like it creates lots of problem within the people even if you are not thinking bad about anybody, but if you don't communicate or if you don't speak with them, you don't make them feel how you feel about them, it's going to create misunderstanding. So communication is the key skill, yes, to develop the relationships between people, right? Okay, so I will take over where Pujita ma'am finished. Pujita ma'am explained us so nicely that what exactly communication is and what benefits we get when we communicate with children or with any other person in our life, right? Now, as we are all are teachers, we are educators, we are dealing with young minds, right? And the young children, kids do not understand the way we think or we want to explain them. So we need to create an atmosphere or we need to communicate in a fun way, in an interesting way, in an entertaining way so that they can connect with the things which we want to pass on to them, right? So I'll be sharing some of the interesting games and activities which we can use in the classrooms through which we can communicate with the kids. And the rapport and the bridge can be built beautifully between the teachers and the students, right? Okay. Thank you for bearing me. We will go ahead. Okay. I hope the PPT is visible to everybody. I'm not going to show you a lot of pictures, but then I want to make it a little bit interesting so that we can indulge and involve the kids in what we are going to teach them, right? Okay, so you might be having a lot of vocabulary, you might be knowing a lot of grammar concepts, but it might happen that we are very poor in communication. So communication is a skill which we need to develop over a course of time, and it cannot happen immediately. We need practice for that, right? So it goes with the younger kids also. So how can we develop different communication skills within the kids? So there are many different ways. We are adults and we can sit for at least 3 to 4 hours at a stretch, but that does not happen with kids, right? We need to involve them in a fun and interesting way. So there are different games and activities which I've brought and I'm going to put up in front of you, in which you can involve the kids and you can increase the vocabulary, the communication gap between the kids. So let's start. Before that, before we start, we'll see how communication helps the kids. So, communication helps kids to express themselves and understand themselves. Even if something has happened, the kids are very attached with the teachers, right? They want to share each and everything what has happened in their house, what has happened with their friends, right? But if they don't have the words, if they don't have the vocabulary to express themselves, they will fumble, right? They will say, ma'am, can I speak in Hindi? Ma'am, can I say in Gujarati? That is also correct. But if we are training them in English language, we need to come up with some ideas and through which they can improve their communication and vocabulary. vocabulary, right? I think all the educators agree with,
कह रहा हूँ
right?
बाहर जाऊँ वो बाहर से अंदर करते रहते, यही ड्रामा करते रहते हो तुम लोग.
Okay, so we will go ahead. So I'm going to give you 7 tips to improve the communication skills within kids. So speed, right? Speed, fluency. If you have fluency and speed are not same. If you want to express something, the speed matters a lot. If you speak too fast, the kids might not be able to connect with you, because the thoughts which are going in an adult mind, it might not go same with the students, with the kids, right? Because the thinking process is slow right now, right? Because we have learned a lot of things, they cannot match the speed of what we are going through, right? So that is very important. Go with the pace through which the kids can understand you, right? And then emphasis means, if you are talking about a whole sentence, but you might be focusing on a particular idea, so emphasis on that word or the phrases, so that the child can get a better idea. The next is speaking clearly. I'll give you one example. If I had money, I could have bought a beach house in Venice. Okay, I spoke something. Did you understand clearly what I spoke? No. I said that if I had enough money, I would have bought a beach house in Paris or near a sea, right? So the second plays an important role. Speaking clearly, expressing your ideas clear is very, very important. Because you might be thinking that I am speaking very nicely, but you need to ask the feedback. Feedback is very important. That did you understand? Did you like what I shared with you? So asking for the feedback from the kids are also very, very important, so that we can improve and we can connect with the kids. We can go to the pace with the kids on which they understand, right? Then simplicity. Kids are so simple with their minds. We don't need very fancy things. Even the simple gesture of love, a hug also can make them so, so happy, right? So expressing your things in a simple way in which they can understand properly and better is the best way to express yourself. So we don't need many fancy things. Some of the flashcards or any simple ideas, drawing a picture also on the board is enough for the kids to understand that. So simplicity is the key part. Okay, then body language. Okay, body language, if you are angry, if you have your problems going on in your house and you're bringing that along, you're bringing that baggage to the school, and then it shows up in your behavior, right? So the kids are going to feel that vibration. So body language, it shows whatever is going in your mind, it shows in your body language. So the kids are going to, either they are going to get attracted or either they are going to go away, right? So your body language also matters a lot, right? And then communicating ideas, whatever is going in your mind, communicate in a way that the other person likes it. Okay, because sometimes we think, whatever I say true, right? I am always true. I speak the truth, but it might means the other person might not like it, right? The way you are expressing it. So it's better that you can communicate your ideas in a clearer way. And the other ways to communicate is the kids can learn from you, right? You are the reflection. The kids listen to you, the kids observe you, and they learn from you, right? So you are the best idol, the best example for the kids through which they can learn. Okay. So enough of knowledge. Let's go to the fun part, that is the activities. Okay. Now, the first one is we enjoy this game. We have enjoyed this game many times when we are doing a train journey, when we are with friends, when we are with family, right? We play the charades, right? We express our means, we express the actions and we tell us about a movie or something. Generally, we play the charades with the help of the movies, Bollywood movies or Hollywood movies, thumbs up or thumbs down, right? But this activity can be used to revise any topic which has been done in the class. For example, if you are teaching phonics, you can go with the letter sound E, the long E sound. You can do the action and they are going to say, oh, sleep, 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 right? And then you can ask them to say the sounds whichever you hear in that word. So they will say S, L, E, P, right? So that is the revision for the things which you have already done, right? Then the other word can be peep, peeping, peep, you can do the action and the kids will be saying, ma'am, beep, 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 right? So you can tell them that, tell me the sounds whichever you hear in this word. So they will say p, e, p, right? So that will be a good practice for revising the topics which you have already done. This activity can be used for revising the concepts, the helping verbs, the maths concepts. It can be used in many, many, many ways, right? And everybody has their own capability, their own thinking process. You can convert it into a fun way and you can use it in many ways, right? Okay, but the very important thing is no speaking aloud. They are only going to act it out. So that is very important. Okay, what is the benefits? They are going to enhance their expression, body language, and confidence, because standing in front of the class is very, very difficult. Presenting in the front of a group of a people is very important. So if a child comes up and presents it in the front of the class, it increases, it boosts the child's confidence. Okay, the next one is puzzles. This is a very simple activity which we do, but this is a very important game or an activity which can help in revising difficult concepts. For example, I have puzzles for tenses in my class, because learning the tenses, the simple tense, the simple present tense, and the simple past tense is very, very difficult. So I have puzzles which helps them to remember the past tense of the verbs. Okay. So I hope you have understood puzzles are very, very, very important and they can help you to revise a difficult concept. If you keep on, see, it's not important that you have to take the printouts, you have to take proper, you have to print out, you have to download, you have to laminate them. No, you can just draw pictures on the papers, you can cut them in the way of the puzzles, and then you can randomly give them and they are going to enjoy it. As I said earlier, they don't need any fancy things, right? Only simple things, but to revise, you can make it in a fun way. They are going to love it. And especially if they are playing in group, they're going to simply love it. So let's make the things simple and fun. They are going to love it. Okay, the next one is, the next concept is Pictionary. Pictionary. What is Pictionary? Everybody might have heard about Pictionary. It is just about asking any child to draw a picture. So if the child is on its halfway, you have to ask the whole class, what do you think the child is drawing on the board? Right? So it might be a cat, it might be a dog, it might be a sun, right? You can use this concept, Pictionary, to revise the vocabulary. For example, the summer words. For example, sunglasses, the sun, right? The flip-flops, the sea, the beach, right? So they are going to draw the pictures and it is going to enhance their vocabulary about the summer words, right? So I hope you have understood it. And what does Pictionary help us and how does the Pictionary help the kids to develop? They increases the imagination or the creativity, because they have to draw the picture, right? So they have to think about it first. How should I draw? What should I, well, should the tail come in the front of front part, or should the tail come in the back side, right? So it increases lots of creativity in them, right? Okay, now the next one is categories. You might have heard about categories, but you might have not heard about the words categories. Okay, so I hope everybody is having a pen and book with you. Okay, so we are going to play a simple game today with categories. So I'm going to give you certain categories and I'm going to give you a letter. On the basis of that letter only, you are going to find out all the words of different categories. Okay, I'm sharing a whiteboard and I'm writing the categories on it. Let's see who could finish it first. Let's do it. It's very simple. You can inculcate in your classroom as soon as it's possible. You can have it, tomorrow is Monday. Yeah, so you can take any concept and you can do it. Okay, for example, if you have done the concept of birds, right? So first category is birds. Thank you. Okay, the next one is a cartoon character, right? Okay, cartoon character. See, kids love cartoon characters. Even I love cartoon characters because I did not watch so many cartoons when I was young. because we had restrictions on TVs and everything. But when I had my son, I relived my younger time, and I still love the cartoons which I watched with him. So I love it. I love to discuss about cartoon characters. It's like I feel that I'm reliving my younger age. Okay. Movies also. Yeah. Okay, so these are the simple 4 categories which I've given you, and the letter for today is P. You have to find out all the words related starting with the letter P. I have chosen P because my name starts with P. Sorry for the nepotism, but still. Okay, come on.
Can you repeat the categories, please, Peenal?
Okay, I hope the whiteboard is visible. Is the whiteboard is visible to everybody? Or is it not? Yeah. The first one is birds. The second one is cartoon characters. The third one is movies. And the fourth one is animals. See, I can give you one tip also. You can use it for the grammar concepts. As I teach grammar concepts, I'm doing tenses right now. So you can have it for the helping verbs also. That in present perfect, which helping verb is used, in past perfect, which helping verb is used, in future perfect tense, what is used, right? So the helping verbs, it allows us to revise all the concepts, because remembering the helping verbs are very, very important. Then only you can present a sentence in the tenses you want to express, right? Okay, anybody done? You can raise up your hand. And okay, Shivani ma'am and Pujita ma'am. Will go with Shivani ma'am first.
Ma'am, for bird it is peacock.
Oh, yes.
For cartoon it is Peppa Pig.
Okay, that's great. Everybody's favorite, right? Kids are crazy for that. Okay.
And for movie it is Pathan.
Okay, wow, that's amazing.
And
Okay.
for animal it will be panther.
Panther. Oh my goodness, that's amazing. Let's clap for Shivani ma'am. Wow, amazing. She was the
Thank
first
you
one to
so much, ma'am.
amazing. See, if we have hyped up, we are hyped up so much, the kids are going to love. They are just going to create chaos, right? We know that. But the energy level that is going to increase. And then after doing these type of activities, if we ask them to slow down and now we are going to focus on the studies, they're going to enjoy a lot, right? Because no play and all work makes Jack a dumb person, right? So we have heard that. So playing is very important. Okay, now anybody else would like to share? Anybody else? Sumita ma'am, then Pujita ma'am and Aditi ma'am. Yeah, ma'am.
Ma'am, birds is pigeon. Cartoon character is Pooh.
There.
And
Yes.
movie is Pushpa. Animal is
Okay.
pig.
Okay. Very nice. Very good. Amazing. Just a second, ma'am. Can you repeat the movies, please? It is Pushpa, right?
Pushpa.
Yeah. Just a second. Okay, it's Pushpa. And the animal is
Animal is pig.
pig. Yeah. Okay. Very good. Amazing. Sunita ma'am, thank you so much. Okay. Pujita ma'am, do you want to share something?
Yes, ma'am. Bird,
Yeah.
penguin.
Bird, penguin. Yeah. Just a second. Yeah.
Then cartoon is Popeye. Yeah, my
Oh,
favorite.
mine also.
Okay.
Just a second.
And
Okay, I hope I have spelled it properly.
and
Okay. Love the spinach, right? He got a
yeah,
lot of energy from the spinach. Yes, okay.
yes. And movie Pyar Kiya To Darna Kya.
Oh, wow. Pyar kiya to darna kya. You need a lot
And
of courage for saying that, right? Pyar
uh,
kiya to darna kya. Just a second. Okay, just a second. And animal is, ma'am?
animal, I had written panther only, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Not an issue. Amazing. Good job. Pujita ma'am, thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes.
Fill out this.
Thank you so much. Aditi ma'am?
Okay, I think somehow Pujita ma'am has copied everything I have
Covered
written
up.
because I've written exactly the same things. Penguin,
Acha.
Popeye, Pyar Kiya To Darna Kya, but animal I have written panda.
Panda. Okay, we
But
are
I
going
will
to
tell you
add that.
another bird. I can write parakeet, but rest,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
parakeet as a bird, panda
Okay.
as an animal.
Hmm.
Movie I can do. Movie I don't know. I cannot think anything other than Pyar Kiya To Darna.
It's okay.
You
But
know
this is
what?
also
So
cartoon
Pujita
character you
ma'am is
said,
going to like
right?
see same things both of us have done.
Pinal,
Okay.
add one element here
Yeah,
with your
ma'am.
question. Okay. See, with this activity categories, we can actually connect with our peers also. Shared
Yeah.
interest and no shared
Ye-
interest also, and definitely it will help us with our
Yes, yes,
creating
yes. Build
teams,
on, right. Yes,
building.
that's very important. Yeah, thank you so much for the tip, ma'am. Thank you so much. Okay, so yes, Shweta ma'am, last chance. Yeah, Shweta ma'am, please.
Uh, yes, ma'am. Bird, ma'am, parrot.
Parrot, okay.
Cartoon character is Pluto.
Pluto, okay.
Yeah. Movie is Panipat.
Okay, Panipat, yes.
And animal is, let me think. Okay, animal, we can take pig. I think it
Oh,
is the
yes, sure.
repetitive one.
Yes, I don't think we have so many animals starting with the letter P, but this is amazing. You guys have so many ideas. Oh my goodness, amazing.
Thank you,
Great.
ma'am.
Clap for everybody. Amazing. Okay, amazing teachers. Very good. I hope it was fun and interesting, right? And you enjoyed the game. You can include this game in your class also to revise any concepts, right? Okay. Then after this, I have one more um, game. Okay, that would be the whiteboard bullseye, right? Everybody knows what the bullseye is, right? Okay, now there is a twist over here. We are going to draw different targets, 2 to 3 targets on the whiteboard, okay, with different points on it. Okay, now you'll be having a questionnaire ready with you. You want to revise the topic for. So different questions are ready. And one by one, you're going to ask the question to each and every child. Okay. If the child is able to uh, answer the question correctly, then the child will be getting one chance to throw a ball on the target, right? So whatever target it hits, the child will get that many points, right? So it is going to encourage the ability and the interest of the child to give the answers, right? To attempt the questions. Because even though the child knows the answer to the question, but if it is presented or if it is asked in a boring way, the child avoids it. You might have heard from many parents that ma'am aata sab kuch hai usko, but chhod ke aaya wo question paper. He did not write, right? Why? Because it is like they have to write so many sentences, so many lines. They have to think about it, right? There is no competition, there is no fun involved in it, right? So in this way, we are going to encourage them and we are going to tell them the importance that if you answer the question, you're going to get points, right? So in the same way, we can connect it with the marks of the school's exams also. That if you are going to write it, you're going to get these many marks or you're going to get these many points. You're going to get better grades, right? So we can connect. Yes, we can connect with it, and the child is going to understand. Okay. Okay. And the last one, I have number of more activities also, but the last one that I would love to do today is we are going to play one more game. If you're not feeling lazy, it will need your physical energy. It's a lazy Sunday, I know. But still, if you are high on energy this morning, we are going to play the game Scavenger Hunt. Okay. So it is going to be very simple. Okay. I will be asking you to bring certain things which are very handy with you. Okay. So the first thing that we are going to, you have to be on your toes. Okay, teachers, ready? Okay. So bring your charger, phone charger. Whoever comes first is a winner. Whoever comes first is a winner. Shivani ma'am. Shivani ma'am, then Anamika ma'am. And then Pujita ma'am. Okay, Aditi ma'am. Okay, so Shivani ma'am is the winner. Okay. Now, I want something which is in yellow color. Very near to you, yellow color, yellow color. Oh, Anamika ma'am is wearing the dupatta, Pooja ma'am is having the dupatta, Hiran ma'am is having something, okay, snake, and Bhagyashree ma'am is having that in pillow, Aditi ma'am, Manju ma'am, okay, Afra ma'am, oh, that's great, amazing. Okay, okay. Now I want a thing, okay, I want something. I want a black pen, black pen. You all are having a pen, but black pen, only black pen. Okay, Anamika ma'am, Hiran ma'am. Only Aparna ma'am also. Okay. Okay, Pooja ma'am, Radhika ma'am, Shweta ma'am, Bhagyashree ma'am. Okay, 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 fine. So this is going to be fun. Okay, if you are playing online games, if you are taking online sessions, even if you are in the classroom, you can ask the kids to take out the textbook, which is very thin, or you can ask the kids to take out the book, which is thick. Okay, a smaller pencil, a bigger pencil, right? So you can use this scavenger hunt when you are in the classroom also. So that is going to make the activity fun, the mood also lightens up, and the kids are ready for that. I'll just take 2 last minutes, and then I'll hand it over to Aditi ma'am. Just last 2 minutes, because I wanted to share the games or activities which I've already planned out. You can use it for your future reference. Okay. So I have talked about certain activities. Okay, the crazy ball game. How to play, answer a question, throw a ball into cups with different point values. You can reward them with different things, not doing the homework, or you can get extra time for recess or something, 5 minutes more. You can have a chit chat with the teacher. So you can give preferences to that. Test knowledge in an engaging way. That is the benefit of this game. Then headbands, right? That is very crucial or very important this in game to revise the concepts. You can give a card to the kid, and the other kids are going to tell the name. The contestant does not know what is on his or her head, and then we can revise the concepts. So this is one of the activity which you can use in your classroom. Headbands, Pinoy Henyo. Okay, it's a very famous game. Okay, does it help in? It builds questioning skills and vocabulary. Then paper ball game, you can write different questions on the paper, and you can create a ball with the layers of questions on it. And then you have to pass it. You have to make a circle, and then whoever catches it, answer the questions. And if somebody drops it, that person is out of the game. So these are very nice and fun game which you can engage the kids with. Okay, then memory card game. We know how to play memory card games, right? They make the 2 pairs of it, of anything which we want to learn. Okay, making sentences. This is very, very important because vocabulary, grammar concepts are very, very important to teach to the kids. So select some of the uh, important words which you want to explain it to the kids, explain the meaning, and then ask them to make meaningful sentences. You can have it in a competitive way also. Within 5 minutes, they have to make maximum number of sentences, as many as they can make, right? So this is going to increase their interest in making sentences. So this activity is going to strengthen grammar and sentence formation, right? Okay. So the conclusion, encouraging students to participate in the games makes learning exciting. Learning is fun when we play together, right? And engage in storytelling. Storytelling is one of the famous things. That's why we are all attracted to Netflix and movies and everything, because everybody likes storytelling, right? So that is very important. Storytelling is one of the major concepts which we can include in the classroom. Engage in story playing discussions and role playing activities. You become the friend, I become the other friend, and then we can present the communication or the conversation, what is going within us, right? Okay, thank you for listening, and let's keep playing and learning. I hope I have not bored you, and the tips which I have shared is helpful to you and you can implement in the class. Thank you so much to listening to me. And now I'll be handing it over to Aditi ma'am. She'll be taking forward the second part of the presentation. Thank you so much.
So here we are towards the end of our session. But before we conclude, I have to share a few of the points that already Peenal ma'am has also mentioned. First is demonstrating effective communication. I hope my screen is visible to everyone. No?
No, Aditi.
Anurag,
Okay,
share. So yeah, effective communication. Now, how is a communication effective, and how it can be effective with the children who are just learning to talk? Yeah. So, what can we do? Like, we have to demonstrate. First, we have to start, right? The communication. How do we communicate? This is the basic thing. See, I am dealing with pre-primary students. They are building their vocabularies. They are learning to communicate. Everything is very, starting for them. So how do I demonstrate communication? Do I use a lot of words, lot of vocabularies? No, because the first thing is the very first thing that a child learns is the mother tongue. Now, not necessarily I know all the mother tongues, all the languages that are spoken. So what do I do? Well, I can do some sign languages. I can use help of the other colleagues or teachers or helpers who know that particular language. And then I start communicating and make the environment comfortable and convenient for the child so that he knows he can come and approach. So that is how I have to take the lead in showing that this is an open door where you can come, you can talk, and language is not a barrier. Using positive reinforcement. Positive reinforcement. The child, when he's doing something for the very first time, they will look at you. Am I doing it correctly? Is this okay? They need a validation. They need the confidence. So every small thing that they have done, let's give them a thumbs up. Let's give them a star, a smiley. Maybe a child, when he is first writing a letter H and he is not able to write. But then after practicing, the child has written the H. So what are we going to do? We give a star smiley. We give them a happy H, or we give them a heart. See, H for heart, you did a very good job. This will build the courage. This will build confidence in this particular child that yes, I can do it. And even if I am taking time, my teacher is here to support me. Teaching strategies for resolving conflicts. Now, see, we know that in the nuclear family, we have 1 or 2 children. So they have their own space, their own things. But when these children come into a classroom setup where they have a lot of children of the same age, okay, then sharing, we have to teach them how to share, or we share, or how to resolve the conflicts. Now, see, what happened is, I would like to tell a small incident here. See, when last year I was teaching LKG, so we gave them blocks because after this annual day practice and all, the kids were really tired. So just wanted them to give a break. So we gave them small blocks, and we told them to do whatever they want to create and relax. So one child was building a castle, other wanted to build a bridge, and they both needed the C kind of block. So I said, see, you can do one thing, you can share, or you have to build something else, but you have to help each other in a way that you can resolve this conflict. So they were thinking what to do, and then finally they made a bridge through the castle. And they said, ma'am, we made something, but we made something different. So we both came together and we decided to make something else. So they shared. I was very happy that day. I came home and I thought, in the evening, I saw the twins. They were my twins. They were having some conflict. So I thought, let's use the same strategy here also. So I told them, see, you have to, understand, and you have to adjust with each other, and you have to talk through the conflict and all. So the one is looking at me and saying, I have to talk. And the other said, that's so boring. Why? So, that time I was so spellbound. I said, what do you mean? I just used this technique and my student actually worked through it. So where did I go wrong? And then suddenly I just, okay, you know what? We cannot compare ants and elephants. Fine, this theory is not working here. Let's move on to something else. And, so that's the difference. When you are a teacher, you can work magic with the same theory. Not every time it works in the house. Next is we have to promote empathy. Empathy is a very important, it's a very important life skill that we have to instill in a very young age, where we have to explain to a child how to empathize with somebody else or how to emotionally support. It's a very big term when we actually say it, but it is a very important part when we are actually part of our lives, when you're actually doing it. So how do we do all these things? How do we promote empathy? How do we, talk, instill all these things in the child? So there are a few tools that I have mentioned on this screen. So of course, we have feedbacks and praises. We always should give them a positive feedback and something good. Listening games, most important. We have to we have to tell them that, like you want me to listen to you, you should listen to your friends also. For this, we have a circle time. Circle time is an amazing tool for listening games. Or then you can go for telephone. Like you tell one thing and then they pass it on, and at the end the message is totally different. It is fun because then the first child will say, "Arey, मैंने ये थोड़ी बोला था, मैंने तो ऐसे बोला था." So these are the listening games. Then role playing games. So how is role playing important? Now, in role playing, what you can do is we can reverse the roles. Okay. See, okay, you are the teacher today, I am the student. Okay. Now, you tell me what should I do today? Okay. So there was one small incident during the PTM. One parent came and they told me that, ma'am, मेरा बच्चा ना कुछ भी सब्जी नहीं खाता है, मैं क्या करूँ? I have really tried hard. Will you please be able to help me? So I said, I'll try, ma'am. But I cannot guarantee, because see, eating is something that a child is very choosy and particular. I can only do so much. But then one day my colleague said, okay, ma'am, कुछ अलग से करते हैं आज. And we did role reversal. So we were teaching them healthy food and junk food. So I told them, okay, today you are the teacher and I am the student. She said, okay. तो मैं क्या करूँ मैम? So I told him that, okay, you have to, okay, now you have to teach me about healthy and junk food. So he said, okay. Then he said, okay, I am a child and this is my lunch box and I have a lot of chips today. Okay. No, I don't want to eat. बंद कर दो. No, ma, I only want to eat chips. I don't want to eat vegetables. So he said, chips is a junk food. You're not supposed to eat it. You are supposed to eat healthy food. I said, I don't like green vegetables. I don't like fruits. I don't want to eat it. So they said, no. ऐसे थोड़ी होता है, ma'am. You have to eat it. Otherwise, how will you get strength? How will you get energy? Everything. So they told me all these things. So I said, see, you know everything, right? You're supposed to eat healthy and all. So what to do now? No, ma'am. We should eat healthy. Yeah, ma'am. I think you're right. I said, so now will you go home and eat healthy food? Yes, ma'am, we will eat healthy food. We will do this and that. There wasn't very much changes, but yeah, there was a slight change where where I saw that the parent came back and said, "Ma'am, आपने क्या किया पता नहीं, थोड़ा थोड़ा लेकिन खाने लगा है." So I said, see, sometimes role reversals help. Now we have storytelling. Storytelling, you can just show them a picture, maybe a playground. And you can ask them to talk about the playground. So how will they talk about the playground? How will they talk about the playground? Okay, ma'am, I saw slide. Somebody will say, ma'am, I saw this color of the slide. Somebody say, ma'am, I like the swings. I saw there were 2 swings. So, okay, I went with my friend into the park. And then you can just give them small turn and they can start building around the playground. Very small, but they can start building a story around it. You can do this during the circle time. It will be very effective. You can say, okay, you give me one. After that, you give me one. And then at the end of the circle, you will have a complete story. And if you tell as a homework that, okay, today we have learned about Earth. Tomorrow you tell me one story about Earth. If you have 25 students in the class, for sure you will get 30 stories from those students. Okay. And all those stories will have something different and something that you would have never thought in your whole life. अच्छा ऐसा भी हो सकता है क्या ये स्टोरी में? अच्छा ये तो हमने सोचा ही नहीं था. Because this recently happened when we gave our students, we are teaching planets right now. So we gave them a story. Okay, 3 planets we taught them because we are going little slowly. So the first story itself started like, ma'am, one day, I was sitting and thinking near the sun that I want to travel to all the planets. Suddenly I started thinking, how will you go near the sun? It is very hot. You cannot go there. It's not that hot, ma'am. Either say, I know how hot it is. It's not that hot. It's okay. I am there. I am safe. Don't worry. And then the story started building. And then they went to Mercury, then they went to Venus, then they came to Earth. And finally, they decided to live the Earth because they liked the bird that was coming in the house. Okay, I said, Acha, that is the reason you want to live in the house because you like the bird. Not the Earth, just my house. I said, fine. So, how they make stories and they have their own concept, and you cannot counter that concept because they are so clear about it. And they will give you a reason when you ask. And that reason will literally put you flat on the ground. Acha, okay, fine. That will leave you speechless. So please give them story time. I know Pinal ma'am also told this, but this helps in thinking skills. It develops. Doesn't matter whether it is right or wrong, but they are thinking, they are constructing something. So these words, these actions, or these stories, they actually help. Then we have again, we have after storytelling, circle time discussions, we have classroom jobs. So what are the classroom jobs? Classroom jobs means, see, one day what I did was, my students, I give them jobs. Okay, we gave them crowns. So one is a line in charge. Line in charge is somebody who is going to take care of the whole line when we are going from classroom to the music class, classroom to the dance class, or from classroom to the sports game area or someplace. So these students, and then I gave one a crown, book in charge. So book in charge means whenever we are giving away the books, okay, you have to help me. This roll number belongs to this child. Will you just help me distribute? Then we have actually pencils in charge. Okay, everybody wants pencils. The biggest one, the sharpest one, the prettiest one, the pink one, the blue one. Nothing doing. The pencil in charge will distribute pencil. Whatever you get is up to them. Okay, then these children, they will go to the pencil in charge and they will say, okay, you are my friend, no, give me the pink one. So we have to change that also. So when you give responsibility to the children, age appropriate responsibility to the children, they will actually live up. They will actually do it. They'll put 100% of their thing, and they will actually give you a very good result. It will boost their confidence like anything. For us, it is just a thing, कि अरे हाँ, बच्चे ने pencil distribute कर दी. But for that child, Distributing pencil is a responsibility which the child is going to take very seriously. And the way you tell, okay, beta, go distribute this pencil. Okay, okay, child, I have a very important work for you. Okay, you have to make sure everybody gets the pencil in the class. The two sentences has the same meaning. Okay, you have to distribute the pencil, but the way you say it, that makes the impact on the child. No, ma'am trusts me and she has given me some important work to do. Correct? So that makes a difference. So please give your children small tasks, age appropriate tasks. They will be your, they will be blessings. Okay. Actually, they will help you a lot. And they will come and ask you, ma'am, आज क्या करूं? आज मैं भी कुछ करूं? वो लाइन में कोई नहीं है. Should I check? Ma'am, I saw he was running in the bathroom. Please tell him not to run, otherwise he will fall. They will be responsible. They will take care of each other. And they will come and, help you in every way that you want their help in. This again boosts their confidence a lot. Now, last is the circle time. So circle time is very important when we are introducing a concept. Okay, so this concept can be anything. You can it can be as simple as, weather. Okay, so we can ask everyone, what is the weather, what's going on. So in the circle time, you can just sit in a circle where everybody can see everyone and they can talk and express. Next is innovative classroom communications. How can we make simple communication effective? Now, as a teacher, the most important thing that we can do is not talk all the time, but to give the children time to answer or to speak or to take charge. So one of such is brainstorming sessions. How do we brainstorm with 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds? Can we do that? Actually, yes, we can. Give them one topic, okay, anything. Suppose give them a vegetable, bangan, brinjal. Okay, tell me what you can do. From the color, from the sizes, from the vegetables they can make, from their likes to dislike, they will tell you everything about that one brinjal. And within this group, the ideas that they are putting forward, the content they are putting forward will help each and every child to learn. So that's how they learn, rather than a teacher telling them, okay, we can have 2 brinjals, one is green, one is purple, and all that. But if a friend tell him, I saw one thin, long green color brinjal. Yeah, I saw a big, fat purple brinjal. That will be in their mind for a longer time. So these are small brainstorming sessions that we can have. Just give them a topic and ask their inputs. And you can have any topic that you are teaching. It can be basic math concepts. It can be English. You can just give them a word and you can ask them the rhyming words. Sat, pat, mat, rat. They will give you everything. Ma'am, I know. Ma'am, I know. So these ideas are more helpful than a teacher simply teaching. Okay, when it comes from a friend circle, it is more helpful. Then next is sharing ideas. How do we share our ideas? How do we make children share their ideas with us? So what they can do is, suppose we are doing one topic, seasons. Now tell me something about seasons if you ask. So they will share their ideas. They will tell, okay, ma'am, how do you want to learn seasons? Okay, let's do something different. Ma'am, we can draw seasons. Ma'am, we can do this. Ma'am, we can actually wear a raincoat and come if you want. So, these are the ideas. So you can just tell them, okay, all of us are coming in raincoat and umbrella because we are learning rainy seasons. Then they will say, okay, can I bring soup also because it's very hot, no? So it's very cold now. तो गरम गरम soup अच्छा रहेगा. We can do like this. We can do. So these are the ideas that they keep sharing. Then we have reflection. What do we reflect? Reflection may you can just have a small summary where you can just tell them that these are the points, this is what we learned, or we can just ask them, tell me what all we learned today, tell me how everything was done today. So here they will give you all the answers, and this is the reflection of the whole topics that you have covered. So this is from my end. Now I would like to hear from everyone. What do you, if you have any questions or any queries, teachers?
Aditi ma'am, can we take the question answer session at the end of the session because we have the group 2 to present?
Sure, ma'am.
We'll
So,
take the question answer
okay,
session.
just I'll take 2 more minutes. So, our future of communication, how does it look like? We have whiteboards that have come into the classes. So instead of just having some, boards and teaching aids, we can actually use the smart boards where we can show them PPTs and all. Then blending learning environments. We have multiple intellects of the children, like 8 of them. So not one child can learn from everything, right? So sometimes we have to make a drawing to explain a concept. Sometimes we have to sing to explain a concept. Sometimes we have to show them to understand a concept. So we as a teacher have to include multiple intellects to make sure the student is actually grasping the content that we are trying to deliver. Emphasis on social and emotional learning. Now, SELs have been established in the should be established in the schools, which actually helps in making a convenient or comfortable atmosphere in the classrooms, so the student can actually is confident enough to come and tell if what or how they are feeling. You can have an emotion chart, and you can ask the child to come and put their hand on the emotion that they are feeling today. Very simple but a very effective method that will help a child to open up to you. Then cultural competence and inclusivity. See, we live in a country where we have a lot of cultures, lot of festivals, lot of languages. So how do we make one child understand that it's not just us, but there are so many things, and we should be able to accept it and adapt, not exactly adopt it, but accept it and be inclusive. So we can take a theme as festivals, and we can tell them about different festivals, how they are done, how they are celebrated, or we can just tell them about different languages or different states, the clothes and everything. We can just take small topics, age appropriate topics, and explain them these things. Global connectivity. We are no longer just one this thing. The whole globe, the world is like coming together, and the boundaries are disappearing. So as the students, they travel also a lot nowadays. So they should know about other countries, other cultures. We can have some small where we can teach them about different festivals. When we are talking about Indian festivals, we can take world festivals, that see these are the different kind of festivals and all, and we can explain them about the world and their different cultures, everything. I would like to end my session by a very strong quote from Benjamin Franklin. Tell me and I forget, teach me, I remember, involve me and I learn. So let's all open the doors and windows of communication. Let's all talk, interact, and express, and make a very happy environment for the children. If you have any feedbacks, opinions, reviews, and comments, we are welcome for it. And we will take the question and answer in the later. On behalf of Peenal ma'am, Pujita ma'am, and myself, Aditi, thank you very much for your time. And we are signing off from this presentation. Thank you everyone for taking out the time and listening to us.
Yes, we have the second session that's coming up. Thank you so much. The first group that spoke about on enhancing effective communication skills in educators. Okay. Now we are going to move to something even more interesting. And what is that? That's going to be about creativity and innovation in teaching. And I'm sure that teachers are waiting as to how you can make your session really really creative and innovative. Over to this group number 2. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Hiren Van. Thank you so much. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, you are.
Yeah. Okay, fine. So before we hop on with this session, and thank you so much for joining in, and I'm really excited to be a part of this session. So before we start, one small activity, right? So I'm going to post a question to all of you. You're supposed to think over it, write down your answers in the chat box, right? And the time limit for that is 1 minute. But the twist is, it has to be the most funniest answer, right? So please tickle your funny bones and think over your answers and write it down in the chat box. So here is the question. If I weren't a teacher, I would probably be. So your time starts now. Please write down your answers in the chat box. Okay. Come on, participants. Okay. An artist, dancer. Please tickle your funny bones. Mm-hmm. Shalini ma'am, detective. Anamika ma'am has come up with driver of Amitabh Bachchan. Okay. Miss Shivani Limbu has written a cartoon artist, a time traveler. I would probably be a stand-up comedian cracking jokes about missing homework and mysterious lunchbox smells. Okay. Okay, so time's up. Fine. Anamika ma'am, can you please explain me why have you written driver of Amitabh Bachchan?
Because I am he's my favorite actor, and I just want to be with him maximum of the time. So that driver can only do, because whenever they are traveling, because they travels a lot, whenever like they are roaming here and there, so I can be at least 18 hours of the day I can spend with him. So that's why I want.
Okay, fine. A detective. Somebody has written detective. Can I?
Yes, ma'am, I have written.
Shalini ma'am, can you please explain us why detective?
So that, ma'am, I can solve like most of the times in class, like pencils are missing, homework. Some of the students have not done the homework. So I can detect who all have taken the pencil and who all have not done the homework. So that's why I want to be a detective.
That's right. That's right. Right. So thank you all so much for pouring your own thoughts. Okay. So now we are going to watch a video, right? And I want you all to write down what is that one thing which comes to your mind after watching this video. Right? Please pour in your thoughts, and I want all my participants to keep their videos open, right? And here I'm going to share the video.
रात 12 बजे से घरों से बाहर निकलने पर पूरी तरह पाबंदी लगाई जा रही है।
School has decided to start taking online classes. Online classes?
सांझ की रोशनी में भी शहर दिखता है, रात में भी कई शाखों पे फूल खिलते हैं, का नूर भी सूरज से कम नहीं, पंख फैला आपने, अब झुलसने का गम नहीं।
All right. So quickly pour in your thoughts in the chat box. What is that one thing which comes to your mind after watching this video? Okay, a teacher's hard work, technology, new teaching ways. Okay. Anyone else? Come on, hurry up. Multitasker, okay. Change is constant. That's right. That's right. Age is just a number. Learning is possible at any age. That's right. Okay. So now, the pandemic, right, was the litmus test for all the educators across the globe. Don't we all agree to that? Yes. So don't we all agree to that? Right? During this pandemic, almost all our educators, right, kept on working hard, right, kept on experimenting with those ideas, experimenting with those practices so that our students remain engaged. The in-person classroom teaching model suddenly got converted into a remote learning environment. Right. And we as educators, we as teachers came out with those 100 practices, 100 experiments, only and only for one thing, is that so that the students remain engaged. Right. So do we all agree to that? Yes. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, yes, you are.
Right, exactly. Right. So, and we as teachers put in so much of efforts, right? We did with so many of practices. We came out with so many ideas. So just for one reason, is that our students should remain engaged, right? So that our the future of our students should not be put at stake. That was one of the main concerns about it, right? And when we did that, right, it was only for one thing, that their future should not be at stake. Now, coming to a very important question, is that, do we create future? Do we have a role to play when we are creating future as educators? Yes, we do play a very important role in creating the future, right? So if we are creating the future, then that means we are creative, isn't it? If we are creative, then we need to understand what is creativity, right? So that brings us to this topic of creativity and innovation in teaching. So if you're saying that if we need to be creative, yes, So if we need to be creative, we need to be creative in our practices. But the next thing is, most important thing is, what is creativity, right? So many of us will understand, okay, creativity is one form of art, right? But then it is just an expression. It is one of the expressions of creativity, right? It is, there is so much, the very essence of creativity is problem solving skills. So when you're having this problem solving skills, that can lead to social changes, that can lead to political developments, that can lead to cultural changes, right? The baseline of creativity is inventions and innovations, right? It can also build up their entrepreneurship skills, right? Now, when we are trying to understand this, we also need to ask ourselves, where do we put our children into all those things? Where do we put our students into this? Are they going to fit into this, right? Because basically, when you're talking about creativity, right? So our students should have this problem solving skills. And as educators, we play a very, very important role into this. Remember, we are the creators of the future. We play a very, very important role into this, right? But then, the teenagers of today, they are going to be the workers, right? They are going to be the leaders of our country. Children born into this week in any of the maternity hospital, in just a blink of an eye, they are going to run this country. Okay, so we need to ask ourselves, what are we teaching them, right? What are students learning? Where are they up to, right? Do they have those skills which can actually, make them confident, make them tackle those problems, those challenges which they are going to, face in the future, right? So so creativity is nothing but coming out with those problem-solving skills, imaginations, right? So that is creativity, right? Now, before, I hope everybody has understood the meaning of creativity, right? So it is nothing but imagination, coming out with your ideas, right? And, problem solving skills. So as educators, we really play a very, very important role in understanding the creativity, right? In making sure that, that creativity is integrated in our classrooms teachings. Okay. Now, before we move ahead with the next topic, that is of innovation, right? I want to share one small activity with you all, right? Okay. Okay. So what is all this? What is this? Can anybody give me an answer? What is this?
Seems like an umbrella.
Right.
Yeah, it seems like umbrella.
Yes, it seems like an umbrella.
Can
Okay.
be a big wave.
Okay. Right. Okay. That's right. It seems like an umbrella. I showed this picture to my students. Okay. And it is, if you see, it is actually a half drawn umbrella, right? So what I did with them is that I told them that this is the design, right? And obviously they also said, oh, ma'am, it's an umbrella. Okay. But then what I told them is that you are supposed to use this design, right? And create as many pictures, as many drawings you can think over, right? And draw it, but not the umbrella. So they are not going to draw an umbrella, but they can think over as many things as they can and draw it on a piece of a paper, right? What do you think they must have drawn? What do you think?
Parachute.
Sorry?
It's a parachute.
Parachute.
Yes, parachute. Anybody else?
The tortoise shell.
Okay.
Ma'am, it can be whale.
Yes,
Wave.
yes, that's right. Okay. So, they, yes, can we all see this? They came out with these beautiful designs. Somebody has drawn a lamp, a diya, a house, a parachute, a dancing girl, bird, right? Spectacles, right? So, right, yes, yes, Aditi. What I did nothing great, right? There was no rocket science into it. I could have directly asked my students, okay, come on, draw an umbrella, right? But a different shape. They could have, at the end of the day, they could have all drawn that umbrellas only, isn't it? But then a small change in my question. I asked them not to draw umbrella, but think of all those drawings which you can draw. Think of all those designs which you can draw using that same design, right, of an umbrella, and see how beautifully they have done. 40 odd drawings, right? By just twisting, by just tweaking that one question, I have trickled their mind, right? So this is innovation, dear educators. Creativity is not it is not something, not a rocket science, right? We need to incorporate that into our classrooms. Right? Creativity is when you're imagining. So they started imagining. The moment I said, okay, this is the design, but then you're not supposed to draw an umbrella, right? And you're supposed to draw something else out of that. So what they did is that they started thinking. So then that is where creativity is, as happening. Okay, fine. I have to think of other drawings also, right? And when they're putting those things onto the paper, right? When they're putting those things onto the paper, that is innovation, right? So to innovate means to, to make some changes or to do something in a new way. Innovate does not require to invent. Baked into in innovation are creativity and adaptability. Educators, the spirit of innovation is an openness, right? So looking with fresh eyes to those challenges, right? And to address those challenges with innovative teaching ways, with different new ways. You embracing innovation in education and actually promotes critical thinking and problem solving skills, which are very, very essential in today's generation, right? The landscape of education is just evolving, and we need to incorporate that into our teaching, teaching classrooms. Creativity and innovation, into this education field, into this teaching, is going beyond those traditional methods. We need to encourage educators. We need to encourage ourselves to inspire curiosity, and active participation. So that is the most important thing, right? There is no rocket science. We just have to think in a different manner, right? It is, and children will definitely love this, right? You come out with those different innovative strategies, teaching strategies, different ways, right? Some might, some might be a super success for us, and some might just fail for us. But then we need to learn from that. Right, our students need those tools of problem solving skills, of critical thinking skills, right? So that when they are facing those challenges in the future workplace, they should come out with a lot of confidence. They should come out with their continuity, adapt also. So where do we give all those things? It is in this, when you're incorporating in your teaching, when you're incorporating in your, teaching creativity and innovation, you can see wonders in your class. By involving those novel ideas, by integrating those new approaches in our teaching ways, right? So what are we trying to do is we are trying to take our classrooms, normal classrooms, to dynamic learning environments, right? So with this, I think, yes. So I think we have understood with the very topic of what is creativity in education, right? It is just thinking outside the box, right? We need to adapt a lot of teaching methods, encouraging students to imagination and to remain to that originality, right? We need to incorporate with lot of, that really helps them to have that critical problem solving skills. And they should have that lot of, and that will really build their confidence to, to face those challenges at the future place and walk with that confidence, right? So with this, any doubts about creativity and innovation? Okay, so then my friend Miss Anamika is going to talk about all those creative and innovative strategies which you can incorporate in your classrooms and make them a better learning place. All right, so over to you, Miss Anamika. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Aparna. Good morning, everybody. I hope you are enjoying the sessions, right? So, as Aparna has told you about creativity, now I'll take over to the next step, that is innovation. Can anybody tell me what innovation means in teaching? What do you mean by innovation? What it is? It is a word, but it has a very deep meaning. Innovation means you have to teach the same topic but with different ways. You have to create interest of the student in that topic. For that, we do have so many strategies that I'm gonna that you are going to explore today. So let me allow to share the screen first. Okay, so if I talk about the innovation, so it is all about integrating new technologies. You just have to adapt sometime, you have to update yourself, you have to update your teaching methodologies, you have to integrate new technologies that can enhance your teaching way, that can make the interest of the students in the topic. So for that, what can be done for that? There are so many things that we can do. There are so many strategies that we can go with. For that, we can have we just need to think a little out of the box. So for that, we have there are many strategies. I have picked up few only. We can go with the quizzes. We can apply quiz method, and it's not necessary that quiz will always, because it's a myth that if we are talking about the quiz, it will always go with GK, ma'am. Quiz will always go with GK. Quiz will always go with SST only. It cannot go with English. It cannot go with Hindi. No, it's not like that. Each and every strategy you can apply in each and every subject. If I talk about English, so suppose you are teaching them the nouns. So you can just give them in the noun, I just want the abstract noun, as many as you know. You can set the timer over there, and the child, just like we did. So with the timer, we did so many activities today. Didn't you find it interesting? Yes, we did, right? So in the same way, you can do it in the classes as well. Then we do have flip classes. Asha, how many of you love, like when you were kids, how many of you love to copy your teacher, love to do the mimicry of your teachers at home? And even our students also are doing this. Many of the teachers, their parents, they used to tell me that, ma'am, like my son and or my daughter, when they're going home, no, they just become Anamika ma'am, they just become Shivani ma'am, they just become Shalini ma'am at home, and they make us students because they love it. Because it's human nature, whenever you'll be giving them some to command. Human, that is like the first utmost thing. If I'll talk about the students, they want to lead. So you can do that also. Okay, today I don't want to teach. I just want you want to teach me whatever I have taught you. It can be anything. It can be story also. It can be rhyme also. It can be any topic also. And that's how they'll find it interesting. And I can bet you next time when they'll be coming to the class, no, and if you'll not be taking this activity for so many days, they'll be asking you, Mama, why we are not doing flip classes? We were enjoying it. Let's do it. No, they'll be waiting for it, and that's how they'll be finding the school interesting, your topic, your class interesting. Then we can have virtual labs also. Why virtual labs? Because in virtual labs where they can do experiments over there online with virtual tools and stimulators, and what will be the benefit of that? They'll find the things interesting where they'll be having the command in their hand again. Then there'll be the less chances of mishaps also, and that thing they can do it at home as well. So in that way, now the next is we can tell them like topic. It's not like necessary every time. Suppose for example, if I'll tell you a topic, okay, today we are learning about population, and we have to find out we will be learning about why the population is increasing. So I'll be just keeping on talking blah blah blah. This is the reason, this is the reason, this is the reason. Will you find it interesting? We will be finding it at
No,
the
ma'am.
end. Means they'll be sitting over there, they'll be present, but their mind will not be there. The thoughts will be coming in their mind. Class kab khatam hogi, ma'am, kab jayenge? It's so boring, I just want to get out of the class. So that should not be there. So for that, you have to make the topic interesting. What you can do for that, suppose if you want to teach them for the population, like you want to have a count of the population just like Jansankhya Garna every time government does. So you can divide your students into the teams, whole class in 4 or 5. So you can just tell them, I want the count, like you go in your society, I just want the count of kids, how many kids you do have. I just want the counts of to the other group, the old age people. How many are senior citizens in your class? So in your society, how many are people who are lying in between 30s to 50s in that way? And then in the class, when they'll be coming, you can just ask them to collaborate that data. And that's how in one topic, you are teaching them so many things. You are teaching them to collect the data. You're teaching them to handle the data, and you're teaching them to make the graph of the data as well. And next time, again, as I told you, they'll be finding it interesting, and they'll be more curious about the classes. Then we can have group discussions. Group discussions, I always love it. And so do the kids, because they know that no one is here to judge them. They just have to pour in their ideas. They just have to speak about the topic, and no one is going to stop, because everybody love to pour in their views, right? And if someone stops us in between, being as a teacher, being as a human being, it's human tendency whenever someone is correcting you. So at the first reaction, what will be the first reaction? Whenever someone is correcting you, what will be the that normal human reaction? That will be like, oh please, I don't want to hear from you, I know it. That will be the reaction. But and what will happen because of that? Next time the feedback will not be coming from the other person, or might be it can be vice versa. Next time I may not speak in that way. I may be having that first thought, oh, if I'll speak something, no, they'll be judging me, they'll be stopping me in between, and it's of no use, let's not do it. So that's how the group discussion will enhance their confidence, and they will be having that confidence that I can pour in my ideas, my views are valuable over there, and they'll be listening. Then we do have crosswords. Asha, how many of you reads newspaper every day? And who waits for Sunday newspaper? We get lots of crossword and who likes to fill that crossword? We have crosswords in that. Crossword puzzles are there, and we wait throughout the week for the answer of the last one. Why so? Can anybody tell me why so? Why we does so?
To make sure हमने सब बराबर किया है क्या? If we have missed something, then there is that curiosity.
Yes,
आंसर क्या था?
because that quench our curiosity, because we are curious, oh, and interest also, because we find it interesting. That's why we does it, no? Because if I'll talk about the questions that has been given in that, they are in the form of riddle, right? And it's human being, जो हम like भगवान ने जब हमें बनाया, तो he has poured in one thing that you have to be curious. That curiosity वो सबसे ज्यादा दी है. वो maximum जो like portions होता है, every portion he has given, he has filled us with emotion, he has filled us with anger, so many things he has given, but the curiosity is on a very maximum side. So that's why we love to solve the crosswords in newspapers. So do the kids. They also love to do that. So inculcate that crossword in your all the subjects. And when like it's not necessary, means every strategy can be applied for every topic, every subject. You don't have to bound yourself to the subject. We just have to open up the doors to that thing, and then the kids will be finding it interesting. Now after that, like, we have learned so many things about creativity. Okay, we have to do this, we have to do that, we have to be innovative in this way, we have to be innovative in that way. But how to apply that? Suppose if you like want to cook something, you'll be needing the ingredients, right? So there are few ingredients, or if I'll say, there are few tools that you can use for your there are few tools that you can use for your classes. So for that, the tools are, if I'll talk about the tools, so it will be, just a moment, please. So these are the tools that you can use in your classrooms. If I'll talk about how you can make quizzes over there, it subject wise, it will help you. And like, you can make it in an innovative way. It will not be a general quiz, it will not be just question and answer. You can make it in innovative way. You can use animations over there, you can add just pictures over there, like multiple ways of making quizzes over there is present at this tool. Then if I'll talk about the Padlet, in there you can make interactive slides, like PPTs. If you want to show some PPTs, you can make interactive slides over there, and that's how it will help kids to understand the topic more. Acha, now tell me, like, if I'll talk about these tools, all these are the visual tools. So how many of you have like, everyone has gone to the theater for the first time, right? So how many of you remember the story of the first movie that you have watched? Or if I'll say the favorite movie, let's change the question. Your favorite movie, how many of you remember the story? I think everybody. Why so? Because that is quite close to our heart. It has an impact on our mind. So do these tools does to the students. It impacts students' mind, it impacts their learning process, and it enhances their learning process. And it's well said, what you listen, you'll remember for some time. What you'll view, what you'll see, you'll remember it forever. हमने बुक्स में बहुत पढ़ा है ना, मीन्स whenever we were kids, we used to learn, like, एक चैप्टर होता था always, there was a chapter about ताजमहल हिंदी की बुक में, right? So we used to read ताजमहल संगमरमर से बना है, उसकी दीवारों पर बारीक बारीक नक्काशी की गई है, बट कैसी नक्काशी की गई है, किस टाइप की है, the in-depth knowledge you'll get when you'll go and you'll visit there, you'll have that feel. So do the tools. Now next, if I'll talk about, so we can inculcate storytelling. Okay, so in storytelling, role plays are there, storytellings are there. So in storytelling, then again you can interrelate the storytelling with each and every subject, whether it comes to the maths. If I talk about the suppose you want to teach them the concept of odd and even, so how you'll be teaching them? Generally, like, when we were kids, it was a rote learning. When if it is a divisor of 2, it will be odd, even. If it is not, it will be odd. In that way we have learned, right? But you can frame a story, you can just narrate a story about it. What you can do, you can just tell them there were a group of friends, and in that 7 were there. I told they all have to walk on a bridge, but the condition is only two can go together. So what happened? The first pair went, so two went on that side. Then next they went on that side. Now how many are there on that side? Four. Now the next two went and they went on that side, but now one is left. So why he is left? Because there is no pair, there is no friend with him. So that's how you can tell them the number. Those who are not having friends, they are odd numbers. The numbers, those who are having friends, they are even numbers. And I can assure you they'll remember it forever. And in the storytelling, suppose if you are teaching the story only, means it's not about the topic also, it only, if you're teaching them the story only, what you can do, you can just ask them to come up with the different ending. So here I would like to share one of my experience. It's my own experience with my child. I was just like narrating him the story of the hare and the tortoise. So we all have heard the hare tortoise won the race, right? In that way. But here there is a different concept. My son asked me, Mama, why tortoise won the race? He's too slow. Hare could have won the race. No, he couldn't won the race. I said, why? Then he told me, you don't know, Mama. Tortoise, he got 4 more siblings. And all the way the bushes were there, they helped him to win the race. I said, how? So he said they all were hiding at different places, like after a few gaps. So what they were doing, the first one is walking, going to the second one, and the second one is coming out, going to the third one, and the third one is coming out, going to the fourth one, and that's how the fourth one reached at the end. Then I said, but it was not the same tortoise. Then he said, we'll find out the difference, Mama. They all look same. So that's how they won the race. So that's how we enhance the creativity in students. Then if I'll talk about the another one, that is project based in experiential learning. Asha, you remember what you have cooked for the first time? How many times you have practiced for that? How many times you have practiced for that? Like whenever we want to cook something, so we if we will be reading a recipe, until we will not be trying it, we will not be learning it, right? So we have to give them the chances wherever they can try and they can learn from their own errors. So trial and error method we have to apply. Now here, like you all have learned about innovation, about creativity. Now I would like to call my colleague Bhagyashree. She will give you more real life examples that will enhance your teaching methodology. Bhagyashree, over to you.
Thank you, Anamika. Now I'll take over from here. And now I'm going to tell you some real life example about how you can inculcate a lifelong learning for your student. First, very simple example. If you want to do fractions, how will you do that? Any of you? If you are a math teacher or a primary teacher, how will you do that fraction?
Maybe
Anyone of you?
Maybe with a pizza party. We can
Yes.
go for a pizza party and we can just learn about it.
Yeah. So you can do it with pizza. And if they are very small, the pre-primary learners, you can ask parents to send idlis or pancakes in a tiffin and ask them to make 4 equal parts of that idlis. And then ask them how many parts are there, the total parts, and then take out one part. And how will you tell them to write down the fraction, numerator and denominator? It is happening in primary, numerator and denominator. But fractions, the base you can teach them from nursery, from LKG or UKG onwards. So this is one of the example. Then bingo game for English teachers. So you can make cheats and some words has to be written over there, and you have to pass the chits to your students, and afterwards you have to write some words on the board, and they will tick whichever word is there in that chit. So who finished that full bingo, the full sheet, they will say bingo. And that like that you can increase their vocabulary and their confidence as well about the spellings. And you can innovate and create. This is a very creative way to involve them in their what you can say that learning the new words. Now, if you want to give the homework as a holiday homework, you can say, most of them are traveling. So you can give them as you have to see the different landforms and draw it and write about it. When they are traveling, they will see that different types of landforms over there. Some will tell you, I saw hills, mountains, valleys, rivers, and then the plain plateau and everything they will tell you. So you can give it as a holiday homework for them. This is few of the examples that teachers can give as a homework or as a topic in their classrooms. Then many of you have applied it before, but some barriers are there to this. Some barriers are psychological barriers, then then resource constraint and organizational barriers. So many barriers are there. Psychological barrier is one of the main barrier to go ahead. Well, first thing, the fear. If you get scared of anything, then you cannot deliver whatever you want. So don't be afraid of anything and go ahead. You are the boss. So uh, don't be fear, don't be afraid of anything. Go ahead and tell whatever you have an idea and just apply it in your classroom. You can insist your organization for it, and they will see the changes and they will allow you to apply these ideas in your classroom. Then lack of resources. Some nowadays many classrooms are having smart boards, but in rural areas smart boards are there, but the power cut is there, a very frequent power cut, so they can't use that properly. So these are the resource constraint we have. So you can and organizational barrier, they will not allow you to do whatever you want to do, but convince them by telling them, and by telling them in a different ways. Then they will definitely will apply that. They will definitely allow you to apply those things in your classroom, and you will become a creative and innovative teacher, and you can train your teachers as well in the school. And now I wanted to get some ideas from you all, creative and innovative ideas. I will give you 2 minutes for just think one topic and make a lesson plan for it. We will give you 2 minutes and you have to put it in chat box.
You can repeat
Any
it.
innovative ideas, any creative ideas you have.
You can repeat it, you can repeat your question once more,
Yeah,
please.
you have to make one small lesson plan or a small activity for the class that makes it creative and innovative, that they have to put it in chat box.
Okay. All right, teachers, if there's any activity that you have been doing and that has really worked for you, and if you would really like to share, you can just put it in a very short, just in a line or a two, the
Yeah.
topic and what are the activities that you've been doing.
Ma'am, instead of
Time
writing,
starts
can you
now.
just speak it out?
Yes, please, you
Yeah,
can. You
yeah.
can raise your hand, you can raise your hand, we'll grab you.
Ma'am, as I take LKG, so
Yes.
my children, when they were thorough with 1 to 10, so I imposed one game to them that was a bingo game. So I told them that you just write your phone number. Because by LKG children, they are thorough with their mom's phone number or dad's one, mama or papa, anyone. So they wrote all the 10 numbers. Like it was either their father's number or mother's number. So they wrote it. Now I told them that I'll do one thing. It's a bingo game. I'll be picking up one flashcard, number flashcard. So whichever number is there in the flashcard, and if it is there in your phone number, just strike it out. And whosoever does the fastest, like all the numbers are striked out, so give a big clap and raise your hand and say bingo. So it was like a very wonderful game. Children just loved it. And same I'm doing with my letters when they completed with their uppercase A to Z. So I told them, now you write your first name, only the first name, no need to write the surname. So we played that game, and they were eagerly waiting when my number will, when my letter will come, when I'll strike out my letter. And they're even telling me, ma'am, this letter is left. You have not done this letter. It is left, because there are children whose name starts with W. So it's not coming, and they're saying, ma'am, this letter is still left. Please, please, got this letter. Like A is a common one, which is like very easy. It's A is coming. So they were waiting, ma'am, V is left, W is left. So in that way, I played this game, bingo.
Wonderful, Shivani ma'am. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, anyone else who would like to share?
1 more minute is there.
You can just unmute, you can answer it if there's anything that's worked for you in your class and you would like to share it with all of us.
I'm taking UKG right now. So we were doing skip counting. So when we were doing skip counting of 2, we made that hopscotch till 10 we made. It's usually till 9, but we made it till 10. And we told them to, skip one box and jump. So they loved it so much. Then they, in the classroom from entry till the end, we drew 1 to 20. So with a permanent marker, actually, that was the biggest mistake we did. So now every day, and the auntie will do pocha and it's still not going. The children, they will walk, skip, count 2, skip, count 2, and they will jump and enter like that only. Every day this is happening. But now if I ask them skip count 5, skip count 10, they will tell me like that. They know, okay, if I leave 4 numbers, 5th number is the skip count. So that's how they are telling me. And they are like thorough with the skips. How are we skipping? What is the concept of it? So they love it.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that, Aditi. Over to you, Bhagyashree.
Yeah. As we conclude the creativity, remember that fostering creativity, innovation in teaching is a continuous improvement in teachers and not teachers, the educators or facilitators, and empowering educators to think creatively not only enhances the teaching but also prepare student for future challenges. So we concluded with this last and our feedback form is given as a link over here. Anamika posted it in the group. Please give the feedback for the session, and thank you so much from Anamika, Aparna, and from me as well.
Yes. Thank you so much, both the groups who have done Group 1, Group 2, Ms. Pujita, Ms. Peenal, Ms. Anamika, Ms. Aparna, Ms. Bhagyashree, Ms. Aditi. Thank you so much. Teachers, thank you for joining in, all the educators who are there, pan-India. And we also have somebody who's from the US. I'm so glad that we have had here. I hope you have carried some good learning material from here. These are my future trainers from Balaji EduServe, and I'm so proud of them that they have been able to present it so well. This is their first presentation as a facilitator, and I'm so glad they have taken it to another level. And in case if you are all interested in becoming or to upskill your profession, you can always connect with me. My name is Dr. Hiran Bagadia. I'm going to be leaving my telephone number on the chat box. And if you think that you want to upskill yourself and move on to the ladder of your career, you can always be a part of this course. Not only this course, we are having a lot of other courses. You can always connect me on the number that is given or on my Insta handle that's called Hiran Bagadia, on my LinkedIn profile, and that's again called Hiran Bagadia, but you need to say it as HIRANBAGADIA, right? So once again, before signing off, thank you all so much for being a part of this training program. And I hope you have a lot of takeaways from this training program. And we wish that you are part of our Balaji EduServe training programs in the future as well. All of you have a lovely day. God bless you all. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you and namaste. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for having us here.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you also.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much,
ma'am.
ma'am. Thank
Thank
you
you so
for
much.
this session.
Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank